Welcome to KSL Sports Rewind. Dusty Litster and Dane Stewart, as always, presented by our great friends at Heidemann Associates.
Yeah, that's right. Just a reminder, they're a flat rate law firm. So if you have any legal needs, they're not going to bill you with a ton of hours. They'll put the hours in, but they'll make sure they're fair and equitable with you financially as well. And right now you can get a free consultation. You have a question, you don't quite know the answer, they'll talk you through it. Give them a call at 801-472-7742 or visit utah.law to find the law office nearest you.
The great thing about Justin, he's a very humble guy too. If you tell him how great he is, he tells you how great you are.
Yeah.
Why wouldn't you want that in a lawyer?
Right?
I know I do. So, also want to thank our friends at Igloo Outfitters, IGLUOutfitters.com. We'll be testing those out here really, really soon.
I don't know if you saw, there was a certain coach who was like, bring your Columbia jackets to Columbia. Forget that. Bring your Igloo Outfitters sleeping bag to your next football game because you want to stay warm in the October nights ahead. Igloo Outfitters.
You can zip your arms inside them. That was my favorite thing. It's a double-sided zipper, so you can zip your arms in.
I like it.
They are toasty.
I'm dying for mine.
Go check out. It's in the trunk. We'll have it all taken care of. Also, look out for Advanced Windows. Our Pick'em video brought to you by Advanced Windows. And, of course, Odeon Menswear. Look good, feel good, smell good when you walk in at Odeon Menswear. I want to thank them as well. All right, let's jump right into this. It's crazy to think we have 1 week left of the regular season.
Crazy, huh?
It's so sad. So sad. We'll be crowning state champions just a little over a month from now, where we'll complete 5A, 6A, and 4A at Rice-Eccles Stadium. But let's not waste any time. Let's go right into our opening statement, brought to you by Heidemann Associates.
Yeah, look, our game of the week this last week, we were at Timpanogos. So my opening statement comes from what I learned from a top 10 4A team in Timpanogos. They were taking on Salem Hills. I'll tell you, Timpanogos came out, they were fast, tempo, and athletes all over the field. And we've said it all year. When this team is healthy, they can be a challenge. They get a lot of talk about the offensive side, which it should. Easton Bretzing, kid is a bowling ball.
Awesome.
Like he is.
He was a slot receiver. I don't know if I mentioned that before.
Yeah, as a freshman, right? Yeah. And then you have Chase Riggs, who's also big, but man, he can sling it. And Luke Livingston, man. I mean, there were times where it's like, look, we're just throwing the ball up and Luke Livingston comes down with it. Really creative offense, but that defense can fly around too. It doesn't get a lot of credit. And I know you used to talk about Tage Litster, and Tage, we hope you're healing up well, but that defense is physical. And if you try to get east-west on them, not going to work. They fly around as well. This is a complete Timpanogos football team. When was the last time we said this? That team could get to Rice-Eccles Stadium in 4A. That is a good,
Stewart.
physical, athletic team. That can be a special group for Timpanogos.
It really could be. And senior night, so congratulations to them. Enjoy the night.
And these are all kids that are 2-3 year starters, right? So it's about this season.
And it's been successful.
Yes.
They've been growing, but they've been winning games in 5A.
Yeah.
So they dropped the 4A and have the chance now maybe make some noise.
Yep.
Now, granted, this isn't the last 3 years 4A classification. There's some more counties than 2.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's true.
They added 2 more counties.
But even the depth, look, they're physical up front. Peterson off the bench out of the backfield. They got good depth there. A lot of players, athletes. Timpanogos is going to be scary good.
And they've actually stayed healthy, too, surprisingly.
Yeah.
How about mine? You think you know what's going to happen in the state.
Yeah.
Dusty keeps saying on the show, there's Corner Canyon, Sky Ridge. I think there's a gap.
Nope.
The gap exists no more. How about PG goes into Sky Ridge trailing 20-7 going into the fourth quarter, and then here comes PG. It was Tulao Wolfgram. Guys, he goes down the sideline. I remember Jeff and I were sitting in the studio. Oh, that guy's got the angle on him. A nay angle. That was gone right down the sideline to Lau Wolfgram. And then Mackay Peterson, 2-sport athlete. We support those here on Rewind. And then Wolfgram again had an 8-yard touchdown catch down in overtime. Hold Sky Ridge to a field goal by Fox and Dovey. And then it was Bronco Winterton, 10 yards out from Carson Rasmussen. And I tweeted this. Kid's an absolute warrior. Vince was just telling us we were getting started. Maybe I'm still in his Vince's moment when we spin and hit that one. But he goes, the guy took like 9 hits. They were just monster hits. And man, Carson playing with their hurt ankle, just kept going. But that was PG. Dane, this team just kept going. This defense kept playing good football.
Yeah.
And they beat the number 2 team in the state. And congratulations, 34-31, Pleasant Grove. And here's the we thought we knew it because of the transfer stuff and all of whatever else between Corner Canyon and Sky Ridge. And here's PG. They go down there in a game we thought they were just going to get boat raced. The race didn't start.
Well, here's the impressive thing when you think about it. You go down like they did to Sky Ridge. I mean, I don't know many people that would have banked on them putting together, like a 19-8 fourth quarter, whatever it was, and then be able to come through in overtime.
21-8.
21-8 on the road. Look, I mean, that's an impressive effort. I mean, this is not my opening statement. This might be the best PG team we've seen.
Pretty close to Dane Christensen that made it to the state tournament semifinals.
Semifinal. But I think this team has it. We were talking earlier before the show, and everyone's 6'3" and taller.
Yeah,
except for Carson Rasmussen, who's what, 6 foot, 6'1"? I mean, it's a big physical PG team.
Yeah, he's the last of a dying breed. Quarterback and starting point guard.
And you text out, we need more of them. Yes, we do.
Yes, we do.
The vision paid off.
And look, Coach Mack is a pretty doggone good basketball coach.
Yeah.
So if he can let his point guard play football and still allow him to be on the basketball team,
what a concept, huh? What a concept.
Unreal. Do you kind of let kids be high school kids?
Yeah.
Never mind. I got so many other thoughts on that, as you can tell. But hey, that's not about us. Congratulations to PG.
Huge win. I mean, that's a defining win.
Coach Walkenhorst a couple years ago comes in.
Yeah.
That's after Coach Witt, they had some success.
Yep. Took some time. Staffieri and company.
Went young. They made it work. Coach Wooten, that's what I was going with.
It's a good time to be at PG football right now.
Yes, it is. All right, best of 6-8.
Hey, I'm going to start with the game that almost messed everything up. I don't know what Davis was thinking. I mean,
oh my gosh.
Look, we're planning on being there this next week for what would be a region championship game. It still would be. You got Farmington come to town. There's no love lost between these two programs. How about the game that Farmington put up? Man, this is heck of an effort from the Phoenix this year. We had expectations. Eastern White and Company there for Farmington just hasn't worked this year. Man, they made it tough for the Davis Darts. In fact, it was Owen Talbot who had the game-winning touchdown run with 8 seconds left. And then Davis at home, hey, we don't go for ties, or on the road. Sorry, this was at Farmington. We don't go for ties. We go for wins on the road. Talbot with a 2-point conversion, and again, inside of 10 seconds to go, as Davis sneaks out 36-35. The victor are the Darts. Trayton Bessinger, 28 of 37, 301 yards with 3 touchdowns. Big night for Bessinger. Talbot had 66 yards on the ground as Davis narrowly gets past Farmington to remain undefeated in Region 1, and it does set up the opportunity for them to be lone Region 1 champs. They'll play for that Thursday night.
You will see that game right here on KSLSports.com. How about this? Just a little something different. We're going to do a 1-hour pregame show.
Yeah.
Talk about that game, but we'll also review the season, preview the playoffs, us and Jeff Hansen. And then after that, JJ and Sly will do a broadcast. Yep. And then you're going to have a rewind alternate broadcast.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's going to be special, guys. You're going to want to tune in.
This isn't just going to be a 3-man booth.
That's right.
You're going to want to hang out with us. It's something else. And it may be teasing something coming later. I think we're going to call it a WWE-style promo from Davis High School.
This might be a playoff preview, if you get what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So,
anywho. This is a workout the kinks and makes Vince Francis's head explode. That's what this is. That's really what this is.
This might be the last Vince's moment we have this year. He might not be around
after this company was built on Dusty saying, I think we could do that. Well, Vince, figure it out. That's how Rewind started.
That's right.
All right, that was a great one. How about this one? First win in region play against old foes for the Lehigh Pioneers.
Yes.
Brought in Lone Peak. Lone Peak licking their wounds a little bit. They get their quarterback back. Okay, Jackson Blake's back. Maybe this will get going. Man, Lehigh jumped out quick. Grayson Brousseau, my little brother, because he's Jackson's little brother, had a great catch to start the night off. He had a good game. Tyson Greenwood had an awesome night as well. Colosi Latu was really good. Obviously, Devon Eka was great. But then in the second half, Lone Peak comes back. Haskett from Blake. Then Blake finds Logan Hoffines 30 yards out. Thinking, okay, maybe you got 24-17. We put it back in the mix with red zone just in time to see Latu's 5-yard touchdown run, putting this thing away as Lone Peak did add a late touchdown. But final score, Lehigh 34, Lone Peak 24. I don't know that when Lone Peak and probably Lehigh was in that old region with all those schools they're with now, I don't know if they ever won football games in that region. Remember they were 0 for 1 year and multiple years. That's a big win for Coach Ed Larson, because when they circle that, say, hey, can we get a win against PG? Can we get a win against AF, Sky Ridge? Well, they got Lone Peak.
Here's the thing. We had expectations from Westlake this year. I know it hasn't been the year that I expect from Westlake. It was kind of like, does Lehigh finish bottom 2 in that region? And you mentioned it, but I want to highlight it. First win ever for Lehigh over Lone Peak.
Yep.
Ever. That's a big win.
Yep.
Big win.
And took care of business.
Yeah.
Best of 5A.
Hey, my best of 5A. Dusty, look, there's been a team that we talked about last year. They graduated a lot of talent. This year they've got a lot of youngsters, freshmen, sophomore, juniors competing, and they've competed. I'm talking about the Viewmont Vikings. They lost by 1 to Bountiful. They lost by 3 on play that you never see at a Box Elder. And they've been right in against some of the top teams in their region. Haven't been able to get over the hurdle. Thursday night, they're taking on Bonneville. Think, oh man, Bonneville's probably just going to be a little too physical for Viewmont. The Lakers had the lead going in the fourth quarter, but Coach Drew Jones and his Vikings, they had something else in store. A 14-0 fourth quarter, capped off with a Darren Tubby 12-yard touchdown run. And look, they scored to tie it up with like 9-10 minutes to go. They stopped Bonneville and then just methodically moved the ball, play after play after play. Tubby, the quarterback, helping to make decisions on that play. Kingston Minkins had a pair of receiving touchdowns, but have to love the drive put on by this young Viewmont squad to get a win on the road at Bonneville, a statement win. That might be good enough to put them in the 5A state playoffs. But, you know, Vic doesn't just stand for Vic the Viking, it stands for victory for the Viewmont Vikings. And, you know, one other thing I got pretty well sourced. Viewmont, they've got a new addition to that roster coming this week. UHSAA doesn't even have to approve this one because they found a loophole around it.
We'll just share that on air. That's
Coach
awesome.
Jones and family, hey, we're wishing you the best as they look to welcome in their first child.
Yes,
Brees Jones due this week. Congratulations, Coach Jones. We're hoping the best for you here with the Rewind family. But big week.
That's called the setup.
That is. Big week for Viewmont as they get a big win, 28-21 over Bonneville.
Congratulations to the Jones family. That's awesome. Well, we are at Roy High School for a reason. Well, that's because Roy are region champs.
Yeah.
Went into Bountiful. Bountiful playing good football, and this was all Royals from the beginning. The ambassador of Quan. Daquan Snyder had an 8-yard touchdown run. Drew Gardner after a turnover. Gardner a 60-yard touchdown run. Aiden Hart had a field goal. But here comes Bountiful. Get a couple touchdowns from Fekatoa, and then it was Hart again with another field goal, and Robert Young 4-yard run for the touchdown as Roy able to hold off Bountiful's little late charge, 26-14, claiming the region championship. I think after they lost against Box Elder, don't know that you really thought that could happen for Roy.
Yeah.
Turn over so much talent. It's been the last couple of years. Freddie's gone. Here they come. Here they are. And the Roy Royals right now, I believe they're in the top 5 in the 5A RPI.
Yeah, I'd have to go look.
Yeah. Who wants to source stuff? But yeah, they're going to be right there. But congratulations to Roy, Region 5 champs.
You ready for this? This is going to take you back a while. Not only are they... Okay, let's talk RPI. You want to know who's number 1 in 5A? Timpview. You want to know who's number 2?
Roy.
Timpview Roy 1-2, huh?
I knew it. See? Told you. I sourced it.
Remember that game at Rice Eccles?
I
Could
do.
we maybe get one of those again?
Britton Covey's last high school football game.
Yeah.
The biggest crowd.
It was awesome.
Yeah.
It was awesome.
Get Wah.
One of my favorite moments, man.
Get Wah back to Rice Eccles. Their last
Please.
game at Rice Eccles was against Corner Canyon.
Let's crowdsource that if we can.
Oh, sorry, that was the same year.
Make a difference.
Big Corner Canyon do get to the state championship game. What am I thinking?
Yeah.
Get Roy back to Rice Eccles.
So good.
Get Roy back to Rice Eccles. All right, best of 4A.
My best of 4A, Dusty, I'm going to go with a game up north that was, man, we had a lot of close competitive games this week, didn't we? Skyview. They've been so impressive this year, and look, had to take on Mountain Crest. We know that Mountain Crest team has been really tough this year. Man, they had a lead. Mountain Crest was playing phenomenal football. It was 14-13 Mustangs in the lead heading to the fourth quarter, and in the span of literally 9 seconds, that game goes from a Mountain Crest lead to a double-digit deficit as Thatcher found Williams for a touchdown with 6:42 to go, and then Seth Toulson a 20-yard pick six to put the statement on. Just 9 seconds later, Skyview with a pair of touchdowns late, they get the 27-14 win over Mountain Crest to remain undefeated in the region.
We had that. We were talking about that on Red Zone. I was like, uh-oh.
Yeah.
Did you see Dane saying rut-row?
You want to talk about the importance of any given play? There you go, man. Two plays later, right? The difference
Just
in that game.
finish the game. Play through the echo of the whistle, right?
So close.
How about you go to Cache Valley, I go to Washington County. How about Snow Canyon licking their wounds?
Yeah.
They go into Dixie after the loss last week to Desert Hills. Get up a 300-yard rusher in that game, by the way. Snow Canyon, this thing going. But there's a kid from Dixie got things started. He's so good, he's got 3 names. Jonathan Bibiano Vargas. That's a field goal kicker. You all guessed it. JT Westbrook had a 31-yard catch from Talon Kelly, and then Kelly found Westbrook again from 22 yards out. And it's a low-scoring game, 14-10. The Warriors knock off Dixie in the battle of the original 3.
Yeah, it was a great one. Great one. Back to low scoring down south, huh?
Isn't that insane?
Yeah.
Didn't think we did that.
Yeah, I
Ray
know.
Hosna did not come all the way there to do that. Right, best of the rest.
I'm going to let you go first.
I got to go first?
Yeah.
How about this? Duchesne goes into Little Hollywood and comes out with the win. One of our favorite guys, Parker Crum, rushed. Tell me if I've said this before. He rushed for a touchdown. Actually rushed for 2, and he threw another to Dallin Porter. 20-6, Duchesne over Knapp.
You know, there's an old John Candy movie. Where's Harry Crumb? Good point. There's a John Candy movie. Who's Harry Crumb? Who's Parker Crum? He's just one of the top touchdown scorers.
Kid's just a stud.
He's a stud. Multi-year contributor for the Eagles. That's a good one. Hey, I'm going to go with a big-time matchup in region play. Richfield, Canyon View. And look, Richfield coming off the big win over Manti. They're feeling really good. Canyon View had a nice bounce back after their loss to Mountain Ridge or to Manti. This game was tied up at the break. It was 14 apiece after after Richfield jumped on them early. Court Moon had a 30-yard block kick for a touchdown. Reggie Hafen had a passing touchdown and a rushing touchdown to help lift Richfield, who remains undefeated. We talk a lot about San Juan on this show,
yes,
whether folks in Blanding here or not, but Richfield continues to impress week after week after week. That defense is gritty, tough, physical, and the offense finds ways to score as Richfield gets the win 28-14.
That block punt kind of just sent a message like, oh boy, here comes Richfield. Richfield and Morgan feel like they're on a collision course.
Yes.
Richfield's been absolutely dominant there in the southern part of 3A. All right, let's get to the wheel of punishment.
Okay, who's first?
I'll go first. I'll go ahead and get the challenge out of the way. Here we go. This has been the best edition. Okay.
Our Defensive Player of the Year watch list.
Okay. Jaden Mayberry. Jaden Mayberry from Lone Peak. That kid has been an absolute stud.
Okay.
I think Tori Lolo from Sky Ridge has been an absolute animal, and then Luke Bryant at Olympus. Those would be my top 3 for Defensive Player of the Year. He didn't
have to look that up. Look at this guy over here, huh?
There is a D in Dusty.
All right, here we go.
Just don't let me down in the playoffs.
All right, our Mr. Rewind watch list, all right? So, Player of the Year candidates here for Rewind.
And Jeff Hansen, I'll get this out now. Jeff Hansen's donating the championship belts. You want to know what you're fighting for? We're going to have a championship belt. Jackson Brousseau got it last year.
Yeah.
Who gets the belt this year?
That's a good tease. All right,
thank you, Jeff.
I'm going to start with
and
Helaman.
Salt City Swagger.
I'm going to start with Helaman's Kasuga.
Helaman's been good.
We have not talked a lot about Timpview this year, and I haven't had a chance to do a Timpview game, but Helaman Kasuga continues to light it up, be extremely impressive. I'm going to go with Carson Rasmussen on that list as well.
That kid's a stud,
we talked about it in our PG game, obviously. His physicality and able to deal with the physicality, but yet so much rides on his shoulders, and how he's lifted that PG program to being second in the RPI on a Saturday morning, pretty doggone good. I think Dax Sumco is worthy of that list. I know it's been a tough year for Box Elder. The back half, last couple of weeks, they've had some losses. I think they'll be okay, right? I'd throw Dax on that list, and then we can throw Isaac Wilson on that list too.
I was going to read you a text I got.
I'm joining the Wilson train here. It's I don't have a lot of time left. So Isaac obviously has been impressive, right? And you talked about a couple weeks ago how much pain that kid's been. Yeah. People don't understand what's going on with Isaac Wilson. He's gutting it out, and he's been extremely impressive to help lead Corner Canyon to be top ranked. And look, he had played with Bishop Gorman for 3 quarters. So, he's had an extremely impressive year.
Yeah. He publicly endorsed
I was saving that for last.
I kept waiting. I was going to pull
I could see your picture like,
I was waiting. The reason why you're doing it, I was like, I'm going to pull out a phone. We were going to FaceTime somebody.
Yeah. Our rural star.
Well, Parker Crum is the rural star. How about, we'll talk about him a little bit later. This is a kid that's had a great year. His team has not. Once again, Luke DeGraffenried down in Millard has been an absolute stud. Yep. Kyron Bracken at Enterprise has been great. And, of course, you can't talk about rural without talking about Conway and Snyder duo down at San Juan have been unreal. I guess I'll talk about Stilson and Sharp at Emory. I wish I had someone at Carbon. Maddox Wilson, I don't know if he's catching any footballs. Maddox Wilson at Carbon has been outstanding too. Then you can put the whole Morgan defense on this thing. But
I'll give you one more because we.
Ready? I love one more.
Yeah, we still. I mean, it's fair weather. It's not Starkweather, but Starkweather's been phenomenal this year.
Oh, what am I doing?
Right?
Starkweather Industries and Reggie freaking Frischneck.
Yeah.
I think I can get that one on the T-shirt. Reggie freaking Frischneck.
I like it.
Buy them on Reggie. I'll get my Facebook Marketplace ready to go.
There you go. All right. Oh, we just did Rural Star. Do you want me to go? Well, I have the same list, so I'm just going to spin again. Our Offensive Player of the Year watch. This might be very similar to our Rewind watch list.
Defensive rule.
Look,
I love those, by the way.
Offensive Player of the Year, I'll start with Bessinger, quarterback at Davis, right? You talk about a program that been an impressive year. Obviously, thought Jackson Stevens would be there again this year, the transfer to Skyridge. I think Bessinger's been fantastic, so he'd be top of the list for me. I think you could also look at Sui at West. He's been really good.
Yeah, Isaiah's been really good.
Yep, I think Jack Johnson's on that list. Yeah. Look, if Jack Johnson isn't hurt the last couple of weeks, I think he's in play for our Rewind watch, right? But I think the injury, we'll see, right, where he lands.
By the way, we'll be at Brighton West.
We will be at Brighton West, yeah.
Old school.
But look, I think Jack Johnson's right there for Offensive Player of the Year. Obviously, I think you could go with Care, right? Slot at corner.
Tate.
Canyon. Tate has been really good.
Well, here's what Cash Gates. I mean, you already mentioned the quarterback.
Right. And honestly, like Bodie Sparrows.
He wears his number on his chest.
Which you got to love, right?
I love it.
That's got to be a Davis thing, though, because we saw
I bet Isaac has the number 1 on a necklace or something.
Well, we saw Jackson Stevens in the offseason. He had the 38,
Tate doesn't have 2. I haven't seen that at dinner. So maybe I'll have to buy that for him. That'll be his graduation
Cash
present.
is a great one, right? Might as well call him Money, right?
Yeah.
Cash Money Gates. Bodie Sparrow's a young man. We'll talk about him in future years, but Davis has a lot of offense.
They have a bunch of
them. A lot of offense.
Been really good.
We can talk offense for another 15 minutes, but we got to get back to...
How much time do we have left in the show?
We got to get back to Dusty's challenge, so...
Last spin.
Come on.
Last
we need it. We need it. It's been 2 weeks, 3 weeks.
It's been like a month.
I already did DPY.
Call. All right.
Hey!
Boom! Boom! Vince's moment. Boom!
It's time for unnecessarily overly produced Vince Moment.
Hey guys, it's Vince. Normally, I kind of reserve these for kind of funny moments, but I wanted to give a quick shout out to down in Kanab. There is a foreign exchange student who's been their kicker all year long. He suffered a severely broken leg on a PAT attempt against Enterprise a week ago. The EMTs, it took 40 minutes to stabilize his leg. Obviously, that's terrible, but what was cool was we received a message from some parents down in Kanab regarding the community, and not just the Kanab community. Every community down there has reached out to Owen while he's been in the hospital, including the kid that broke his leg. The cool thing about this is with him he's from Germany, he's a foreign exchange student, he didn't have the investment in the community just coming in from Germany, but the community rallied around him. And I thought it was a pretty cool moment, and thank you to Jennifer for sending that over to us and letting us know.
Crack researcher, Vince Francis, everybody. Thank you, Vince. Hey, and best of luck to you, bud.
Yeah, and honestly, like, community, Kanab, everyone else down there, way to go.
Little Hollywood for a reason.
Yeah.
Nicer than Hollywood.
Much nicer than Hollywood.
So much nicer.
All right, we got one spin to go, right?
Yep. Here we go.
Here.
He gets one more than Dusty
Magic
gets
touch.
for him.
Hey!
Vince's moment again!
Boom!
It's time for unnecessarily overly produced Vince Moment.
Hey guys, it's Vince.
Hey, Vince.
Hey, have you guys heard the saying Carbon County math?
I live it every week on this show.
Oh, man.
Well, Dusty got to live it last night.
On air.
And all of us did. All of us got to enjoy it. Let's roll the tape.
Yeah, so face mask penalty against Sky Ridge. Going to give it a first down to Pleasant Grove, and he gets him a shot in the arm in this drive. Takes him from the 37-yard line down to the 22, because I can do Carbon County math. No, probably 27. They only gave him 10 yards.
Carbon County math did not hold
Hey,
up
are
well.
personal fouls not 15 yards?
Listen, I don't think we know what's what anymore.
So we'll come back for this one. Yeah, I don't want to even explain the reffing thing.
Don't
I totally
bother.
forgot it.
Yeah,
So what happened?
no, it all comes down to Dusty can't math.
Mr. Rowley knows that I'm not so good at my And then it dawned on me because it's the whole behind the line, in front of the line. There was a face mask penalty. They take it from the spot now, even behind the line of scrimmage.
That's okay.
Refs reffing, ruining Dusty's life.
Sometimes it. Hey, look! By the time we get to Friday nights, it's a long week. We'll give you a pass.
Yeah, Jeff didn't.
That's good.
Vince clearly didn't. I was so mad it ruined like 5 minutes of the show. I was so angry.
Well, and in fairness,
Harbin County math, it was like 15 minutes.
and in fairness, his computer broke right before the show, so he was
I
already
was
kind
already
of
rattled.
touchy and.
I lost one of my oldest friends. All right, before we close up shop, let's get into our quick hits.
All right, hey, I'm going to start. Ben Lomond, Juan Diego. We touch on Ben Lomond, but my goodness, Manasseh Tuatagaloa, 3 passing touchdowns, 1 rushing touchdown. Ben Lomond, we get the rivalry game this week, the Scots and the Tigers. What'll be a great one. Ben Lomond's done it's been impressive this year. Great to see them back winning football games.
Somebody gets a winning record
Yes.
in that game.
Yep.
So
Yep.
best of luck to both of those
Be
teams.
awesome.
And how about Mountain Ridge? Mountain Ridge continues to roll right along, go out to, or probably bring in Riverton. A tough year for Coach Freeland and crew. A 34-9 win. And Mountain Ridge, this offense can continue to play well. Kai Mays had a touchdown. A bunch of other guys got in the end zone. Well, he had 2 touchdowns. Andrew Nielsen for Riverton did have a 80-yard run. They showed it totally different on here. But yeah, 34-9, the win, Mountain Ridge over Riverton.
You know, it's interesting. You can take a point in time and lean too much into it. That's why a lot of people like to look at trends. You want to know who's trending right now? The Kearns Cougars.
Yeah.
How about a big win Friday night, taking on West Jordan, 29-7. Kearns got the region win. Kaimani Fautea, 3 rushing touchdowns for the Cougars. They're sitting in second place in Region 4 right now. It's been a nice second half of the year for Coach Rickards and squad.
I don't know if you can remember this because you always claim your memory's bad. Who did I say in 5A no one wanted to play in the playoffs last year, going into the playoffs?
I don't remember.
Woods Cross.
Yeah.
You do not want Woods Cross, Brody. Benson,
Playing well.
back coach, our thoughts are still with you. You know how tough it is to
Yeah.
lose a parent.
Yeah.
But they bring in Box Elder. Box Elder lost their first game of the year last year. Dax Sumco did have a rushing touchdown in this, but it was not enough. Ben Smith Meekum had a 39-yard touchdown run. Lock Smoot from 73 yards out. And then Ben Smith Meekum chipped in a field goal, 17-12. Score you don't see very often in football, high school football. But Woods Cross knocks off Box Elder. 2 straight losses for Coach Gunner and the Bees, but good on you, Brody
Huge win.
Benson and
Yep.
Woods Cross.
Yeah, that was a team I thought could sneak up on people this year. They've been good. Hey, how about the game I've kind of said off camera, the game that nobody wants to play, but they have to play, West and East. This is a Thursday night special, and look, West went up in this ball game. East got a safety, a kickoff return. All of a sudden, they had the lead in that second quarter, but West, the offense just too much, able to put away in the second half. Malapai had 3 rushing touchdowns. Lava Vailahi had a 31-yard pick 6. That was a big differentiator early for West in that game. Do you know what the announced crowd was at Gene Palaga Stadium?
About 6,000?
16,000.
16,000.
I got a text saying they announced 16,000.
Did you see the light show? You see
No.
We got some schools that do this weird drum and clap thing. Whatever.
Yeah.
The fire dancers are awesome. But this light show, they were singing the song, they had the DJ going, everybody had their lights on. Pretty awesome.
I've been there with the DJ. It's awesome.
Yeah.
Great environment. West gets the win as they remain undefeated in region play. Their region championship game, we already talked about it, will be Wednesday. We'll have it for you right here on Brighton.
Not a lot in the box score, but Ty Monty Brown was huge in that game.
Yes, he was. Yeah.
I'm just assuming. So,
He always is.
how about Springville and Orem?
Yes.
Bringing this one to Orem, this is a team you don't want to, but Tavita Valetti had 2 rushing touchdowns early. He actually had one, actually all 3. They updated the box score from what I went through last night and had it all down. This is why I always go with the box score first. And then Lissetti Valetti also had a run. So it was all Valetti's, 28-21, but it was a late touchdown by Tavita that put this one away because back came Orem. Valetti Yongi showed well in this one. Asher Young had a touchdown pass from Engelman, but just not enough. Coach Reynolds and the Tigers just keep battling. This team just bumping their heads on their ability. I think this team will get better here in the next couple weeks.
It's a team you don't want to see in the playoffs.
Yeah.
Valetti's with the Tutties, and I'm just teasing.
Remember the first time I said Tutty, Dan goes, I don't like that. You just said it.
Some things just take
I
time.
was 2 years too early.
A game that in our picks video I thought would be close, and it was through a half. Timpview Maple Mountain, 28-20 at the break for Timpview. Helaman Kasuga had a pair of passing touchdowns, a rushing touchdown. Banks Jackson in that Maple Mountain offense, they tried to stay close. just not enough to maintain with the power of Timpview. 42-20 for the T-Birds.
I had someone from the TV staff reach out to me and said, do you think Banks Jackson looks fast on film? That dude is fast.
Yes, he
and
is.
then he also said, tell Dane that was close for a half.
That's what I just said. Yeah.
So that was it. Yeah. So that was funny. Oops. Next one. Do you have any other ones, Dane?
Oh, I got a lot more.
All right. Go ahead. Next one.
All right. Hey, Cooper Swayze. We talk about offensive players of the year.
Yeah.
I did not include him. That's bad on me. 3 receiving touchdowns in Payson's 24-21 win over the Dons of
That
Spanish.
65-yard game winner was on a screen pass.
Yeah.
That wasn't a go ball.
Yeah.
They threw a screen. Cooper Swayze weaved through the defense all the way to the end zone.
Awesome.
Yeah. That, on their new turf, by the way.
Oh, yeah, that's
Pretty.
right. That's right.
It is good looking. Wide end zones. We haven't seen that one yet.
Yeah.
Wide end zones. It was
Yeah.
looked really, really cool.
I got one.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
What if I told you didn't score a touchdown and won? Grantsville and Union.
Wow.
It was Joe Wright's night. 4 field goals for Joe Wright. 12-10. Offense optional in this one. Grantsville gets the win over Union thanks to Joe Wright, including the game winner with 1:48 to go in the fourth.
It has been a tough year for Millard.
Yes.
A lot of close games. Well, they didn't need a close game this time. Morgan Tingy had a 12-yard touchdown catch from Caden Turner, who also threw a 40-yarder to my guy, Luke DeGraffenried. Kid is huge.
Yeah.
Put him back in the backfield. Let him do his thing. Lincoln Fulmer had a 15-yard run, as well as Millard downs North Summit. North Summit was 6-2
Yeah.
in this game. They beat him.
Big win.
Knocked him to 6-3. Millard's a 21-7 win.
That's a great one. I got one more for you. Summit Academy, Providence Hall. Providence Hall, what a start to the year. Last 2 weeks, been tough. It was all Summit Academy on Friday night. Kyson Anderson had a pair of passing touchdowns. Bronson Dixon with 3 rushing touchdowns. 43-7. Summit Academy with a big one. And they got a big matchup this week. Summit Academy does. They'll take on Layton Christian.
Yeah.
Big region implications and obviously RPI seating on the line in that one.
All right, if there's anything we missed, hit us up before we close up things. Let's go to our favorite part of the show, the Spark Award.
All right, look, Spark Athlete of the Week. Normally we look for storylines outside the field, people doing good in their community. Look, good in the community happened on Friday night. We talked about what a big win it was for Pleasant Grove. Pleasant Grove football is back. But boy, you talk about Carson Rasmussen. This is a young man that the physicality of Skyridge, right? Like we've seen it the last several years. That's a physical bunch. And to get beat and like physically get hit and knocked down and knocked over, and to be able to have the resolve to keep your team in it and keep your mindset in it, to be able to have that comeback in what was a statement win after just having lost to American Fork a couple weeks ago. Good on you, Carson Rasmussen, for keeping, again, that mental resilience, keeping your team bought in, focused, and having enough in the tank to be able to deal with that ferocious Skyridge defense coming back and getting the win. Carson Rasmussen, our Rewind Spark Athlete of the Week.
Absolutely. Well, if we missed anything, hit us up. 1 week left. Remember, us two and Jeff, we might have a fourth. We'll figure that one out. We'll be live at Davis High School 6 o'clock on Thursday. We'll take you all the way to kickoff, and then the Rewind alternate broadcast. Just getting a little warmed up for something later on this year. I can't wait.
That's going to be so fun. You're going to want to tune in.
Hang out. We're going to have a good time.
Yeah.
It's going to be a blast. But for Vince Francis and Dane Stewart, I'm Dusty Litster. Thanks for joining us and for watching KSL Sports Rewind on KSLSports.com.